Hi, I'm Vanessa from Ellie and Mac, and welcome back to my sewing room. Today, we're going to do my most requested. I actually love sewing for my friends and family, and one of my biggest requests right now is jumpers, and I am so excited. Every time I make one, I want to make myself 5. So I have my fabric that I couldn't say no to, and I said we're going to make this into Marissa Garden Party, and we are. But instead of doing the flounce overlay, I'm going to show you how to turn that into a facing, and then we're going to do a decorative button placket. So we're going to have so much fun with this fabric, and then I also want to go over how to make sure darts are placed correctly and how to measure for that. So we have a lot going on today. Let's get started. So on the wearer's right side, I have the fabric facing down. Now on this placket, I'm going to cut it 2 inches wider at the center. So instead of cutting it on fold or cutting the whole part out, I'm going to give myself 2 inches, and then I'm going to cut straight across at the neckline 1 inch past the center line towards the arm circle. This way I can roll the placket 1 inch and then roll it over again, and everything is going to be nice and straight, and I won't have to be dealing with any curves whatsoever. I'll be cutting out the rest of this bodice just like normal, and I'll show you how to do the darts a little bit later. On the wearer's left side, we're only going to add 1 inch on the center, and then I'm going to cut it flat again from the 1 inch that I added into the 1 inch past the center line. And then I'll continue to cut out the bodice. I feel like I'm always sharing awkward things. I am narrow. There's nothing that I can change about that. And because I'm narrow, it means things are closer together. And sometimes my darts come up a little short. If you're opposite than me and a little further apart and you find your darts are too long, this is going to help. We're going to measure the distance between our apexes. So I'm just going to non-awkwardly hold this up in front, and I'm about 7 inches between my apex. I'm going to add about a 1/2 inch to make sure that I'm not on top of my apex and cause a point in my dress. And it looks like I'm about 7.5 inches. So I can take this measurement of 3 3/4, and with that I can measure from the center of my pattern over to make sure that the apex is in the right spot. So you can do this too to make sure that you get the perfect dart placement. Let's get to the cutting table. So at the cutting table, I have some yellow paper that's showing the movable dart. I'm going to trace this and cut it out. Now this movable dart, you can move it back and forth based on your apex measurement, and then you can just trace out the ending of the dart. I'm going to do this, and then I can cut it out, and then you can place this over your fabric as you're cutting. Now I'm going to be measuring my apex to the center of the garment, and it's 3 3/4. I'm so happy that I took my upper bust measurement because the dart is perfect. Now all that's left is for me to trace my dart in chalk, and then I can start placing my dart. This was a little funny. I wanted to cut out a maxi so bad that I went from cutting out my front bodice to cutting out the full maxi. And sure enough, wouldn't you know it, I did not have enough fabric for the back, so I actually had to cut the back in 2 separate pieces. But I did give myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance so I wouldn't be throwing off the pattern. Every good dart starts at the ironing board. Once I fold my chalk lines together and I iron everything down, it's time to take it to my sewing machine, starting at the side and sewing towards the apex, making sure that I sew off of my dart, and then I'm going to keep my threads long so I can tie it in a double knot, and then I can take it back to my ironing board. I like to use an ironing ham. I bought this off of Amazon, and just to lay the dart on, this helps get the shape into the dart at the very beginning, and I just love how this looks. You can see when I remove the ham, you can see the nice shape that's already developed. So I've serged both ends of the front of my bodice, and I'm going to put them together with the wrong sides together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance down the front. Now we're going to be able to hide the serge on the inside when we fold over. It's going to give this nice French seam on the inside, but be hidden in the placket. Now at the ironing board, I'm going to put right sides together, and then I'm going to fold at the seam and iron down flat. On the side that I have the 2 inches, I'm going to flip it back over, and then I'm going to take my quilting square. And I'm going to line it up with the fold, and I'm going to mark 1 inch all the way down in chalk. Now I'm going to lift up the chalk marks and fold my bodice in half again, and then iron down again. Now I folded over, and with my quilting square I marked another 1 inch so I know where I'm going to be folding. Now when I open my bodice up, I'm going to be able to take the placket and fold it over and sew. So at my sewing machine, I'm actually sewing again on that stitch I made earlier, but this time it's going to be holding together the 2 folded over pieces that will create my placket. So with my placket sewn together, now it's time to top stitch. I just want to give you a little sneak peek on how cute this is going to look once we get these buttons in. So I have my back bodice folded in half, and I also have my fabric on fold, and I'm using my rotary cutter to cut around the neck and the arm. Then I'm going to use chalk and mark down 3 inches, and then I'm just going to kind of draw up where my straps are and then come back down 3 inches. This facing pretty thick, but I want to have the sides both 3 inches so I can sew them together. You can see how it lines up perfectly with my back and on the sides. On the front, I'm going to lay it flat, again, chalk out exactly where I want my facing to be. And then I'm going to do the exact same process where I'm going to come up at where my straps are and make a nice thick facing with 3 inches long on both sides. I wanted to also come down 3 inches on the front in the very center, because this way when I sew on the buttons, it's going to help hold it down. I actually cut it on the fold just to make sure it's even on both sides, and then I'm just going to show you how nicely this lays on top of the front. And then all that's left is to cut some interfacing. So again, I'm taking these facings and I'm putting it on some iron interfacing, and I'm just going to cut it out as closely as I can, and then we'll take it over to the ironing board. Just follow the directions on your interfacing package and just iron it on so your facing is nice and stable. I do like to serge my bottom edges so they're finished, and then we're just going to sew the front and back facing together at the sides. So after I sew my facing together, I'm actually basting in my straps. The straps need to go down, and then I'm going to be clipping along the front. Now I'm only going to sew the front first, and then I'm going to do the back, and then I'm going to do the arm circles. Because the straps are a little short, it can get confusing. So I'm just going to work at the top of where I have my strap, and then I'm going to work all the way down to the front of my bodice. Now this is going to be at the 3/8 seam allowance I've been sewing everything else at. Make sure that you're nice and straight during that center part where the placket is going to be at. So do the same thing with the back bodice. Now we're going to work on closing up the arm circles with the facing, and as you can see, the straps are really short, and so the strap is going to be moving from side to side, and you want to make sure that it's in the inside with right sides together. Here you can see my facing is completely done, and now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to start snipping around the center and on the curves. This is going to help ease it so I can flip it around and top stitch. As you can see, I have my trusty hand back helping me iron, and then I'm top stitching at a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around my bodice. So here's my fit test, and I have to say I'm getting so excited for this. The placket is dead center. I got in my nice straps. It's fitting perfectly. The darts are right where I want to be, and look how darling this is. So it's getting a little dark here. I'm gonna finish up the skirt tonight, and then we'll bring everything together with the buttons tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I know I am a terrible sewer after 8 p.m. So I try to keep it simple, doing serging and closing together something that's very simple like the skirt, and even doing the rolled hem at the bottom. I also top stitch the ties so I can easily add them in tomorrow, but I really do not try to do any constructing when I know I'm very tired. I'm back. Start of day 2. Yesterday I got a late start because I was doing yard work all morning, but I got my skirt done. And I also have my bodice. So today, it's all about assembly. So here's my bodice and here's my skirt. I'm going to clip the bodice onto the skirt, but I'm going to first turn it inside out, and then I'm going to put right sides together and clip all the way around. I'm going to first start with my sides, lining it up, and then I'm going to move to the middle and the other side. I'm going to go pretty quick here. So I sewed the skirt and the dress together, and this is just like a 3/8 seam allowance, and then I'm going to serge off the ends. And then I'm going to go back with my sewing machine and sew a 1-inch seam allowance, and then I'm top stitching that down to my bottom skirt. This is what creates the casing, and I'm going to leave an opening so I can get my elastic through, and then I'm going to sew my elastic shut. If you'd like to watch a little slower version of this, check out Diana's Marissa Garden Party Dress tutorial. I only sewed up 1/2 the tie because normally it goes all the way through so it can be adjustable, but I don't like things too tight on my waist, and so oftentimes I just top stitch the ties on, and I think it looks just as nice. My little secret. So I'm starting the first button pretty high, and then I'm spacing every other button 2 inches apart. These buttons are a little small, so I think 2 inches will be perfect, and since I don't have to worry about making a buttonhole, I can space them pretty close to the top and the bottom. But I'm just so excited for this. Having a fake button placket is one of my favorite hacks. I think it adds such character. The first 2 buttons are sewed in through the facing, and this just helps secure and hold it down. And then from there, you're going to be sewing the rest of the buttons through that decorative placket that you just made. So that's about as easy as it is. So I set out this video thinking I was going to make a jumper that I would love to layer under, but it turned out I made a dress I'm going to love all summer long, and it goes with everything. I love it so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. A like and subscribe would be amazing. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching.